This policy of yours has worried me from the start.
My political instinct tells me this may be some sort of warning or sign, and perhaps from the gods.
How dare you? Shut your mouths, both of you, before I lose my temper. And you, if you are a superannuated fool, at least don't talk like one. Is it likely, remotely likely, that the gods would think twice over that pile of stinking meat? By God, it's blasphemy! Even to suggest that they would care a damn whether he was buried or not. Let alone grant him an honorable funeral, as though he were one of their principal supporters, what? The man who came to burn down their temples, plunder their treasuries, pull down their statues and make a mockery of all their laws? Do the gods love criminals these days? No, they do not. But, gentlemen, there are men in this city, and I've noted them, a subversive faction, enemies of the state, a cell of oppositionists, call them what you will, who reject the laws and my leadership. They meet in secret, nod and whisper and talk of the great day. Seditious men they are. And they are behind this. Any fool can see that. Their bribery has suborned my soldiers and paid for this demonstration against my authority. Money, gentlemen. Money. The virus that infects mankind with every sickness we have a name for. No greater scourge than that. Money it is that pounds great cities into piles of rubble, turns people by the millions into homeless refugees, takes honest citizens and corrupts them into doing things they'd be ashamed to think of before the fee was mentioned, and in the end brings them into the execution chamber. Well, whoever they are, these men who have sold themselves, they'll find the price considerably higher than they thought it was. You, come here. Come here! Listen. By Zeus, whom I regard as my personal patron, and by all the gods men worship anywhere, I swear to you, soldier, that either you will find the man who buried Polynices' body in defiance of my express command, bring him here to me, the actual man who sprinkled the earth, no other will do, standing here in front of me. Or you, soldier, will die for it. Death, I promise you, will be the least of your punishments. You will be made a public example and interrogated by the security police. Kept standing, beaten across the feet, the whole repertoire of special techniques at which we excel so much, until you confess the full range of this conspiracy. Who paid you? How much? And for what purpose? The choice is yours. Perhaps that indicates where your own best interests lie. Crimes against the state and its laws, you'll find, are very unprofitable in the end.
Am I allowed to speak, sir?
Now, why should you speak? Every word you say is painful to me.
Well, it can't be earache, can it, sir? Not what I said. It must stick in your gullet. Or further down, maybe. A sort of pain in the conscience.
Do you dare to answer me back and make jokes about my conscience?
Me, sir? No, sir. I might give you earache, I can see that. I talk too much, always have done. But the other pain, the heartburn, as it were, it's the criminal causing that, sir, not me.
Not short of a quick answer, either.
No, sir. But I didn't bury the body. Not guilty to that, sir.
Maybe guilty of selling your eyes for money, eh, Sentry? Looking the other way for cash?
Oh, you're an intelligent man, sir, and well-educated, and I'm not. But in this case, I'm thinking clearly, and you're mistaken.
You can think what you like. Whatever you think. If you fail to find this enemy of the state and bring him here to me, you'll find that money, from whatever source, will certainly not save your life.
Well, let's hope they find him then, whoever he is. But one thing I'm sure of, they won't find me. I never thought I'd get out of here alive. But when I do get out, nothing will bring me back again. I've had an amazing stroke of luck, and I won't chance my arm a second time.
Is there anything more wonderful on Earth, our marvelous planet, than the miracle of man?
With what arrogant ease he rides the dangerous seas, from the waves' towering summit to the yawning trough beneath.
The Earth Mother herself, before time began, the oldest of the ageless gods, learned to endure his driving plough, turning the earth and breaking the clods,
till, by the sweat of his brow, she yielded up her fruitfulness.
The quick-witted birds are no match for him, neither victim nor predator among the beasts of the plain, nor the sea's seething masses.
His cunning surpasses their instinct. His skill is the greater. His snares never fail, and his nets teem.
The wild bull of the savage mountain, and the magnificent stag who passes like a king through upland and glen.
The untamed horse with his matted tresses uncut on his neck.
All submit to man, and the yoke, and the bit, and his power increases.
He has mastered the mysteries of language
And thought, which moves faster than the wind, he has tamed and made rational.
Political wisdom, too, all the knowledge of peoples and states.
All the practical arts of government he has studied and refined.
Built cities to shelter his head against rain and danger and cold.
And ordered all things in his mind.
There is no problem he cannot resolve by the exercise of his brains or his breath.
And the only disease he cannot salve or cure is death.
In action, he is subtle beyond imagination, limitless in his skill. And these gifts are both enemies and friends, as he applies them with equal determination to good or to evil ends.
All men honor, and the state uplifts that man to the heights of glory, whose powers uphold the Constitution, and the gods, and their laws. His city prospers. But if he shifts his ground and takes the wrong path, despising morality and blown up with pride, indulges himself and his power, at my hearth may he never warm himself or sit at my side.
Wait, I can't believe my eyes. Can this be true?
This is Antigone.
I recognize her as clearly as I can see you.
Her father's destiny was suffering and pain.
On all his progeny misfortunes reign.
Child, did you openly disobey the new king's order?
And bury your brother?
Do you have to manhandle her this way?
We saw it! Actually burying the body. Caught him in the act, as they say, red-handed. Only it's not a him, it's a her. Where's the king?
He has been informed.
He's on his way.
Is this a moment to disturb the king? Why do you need me? What has happened?
Lord Crayon, I reckon it's always unwise to swear oaths and make promises, even to yourself. Second thoughts, 9 times out of 10, will have their say, and end up by calling you a liar. It's no time at all since I promised myself I wouldn't be seen dead here again. You were angry with me the last time. A right mouthful you gave me. More than enough, thanks very much. But you can't beat a real turn-up for the book, can you? There's nothing more enjoyable than a good win when you're expecting a tousing. So, here I am again, as the comic said, and my promises not worth the air they were spoken with. This lady's your criminal. We caught her doing it, actually setting the grave to rights. I brought her here, and there was no panic this time, I can tell you. No retribution or drawing lots, she was all mine. I caught her, and I claim the credit for it. And now she's all yours. Take her and accuse her. Stone her to death if you like. I'm free to go, I hope, and well shot of all of it.
Where did you arrest her? Tell me the details.
She was burying him. What else is there to say?
Are you out of your mind? Do you realize the implications of what you're saying?
Sir, she was burying the body. The body you ordered not to be buried. I can't speak plainer than that.
But how did you catch her? Was she doing it openly?
Well, gentlemen, it was like this. As soon as I got back, remembering all those threats or promises you made me, we brushed all the earth off the naked body, which was all wet and beginning to decay by now, and we sat up on the ridge, well to the windward of the stink, and we all kept a sharp eye on each other, ready to nudge anyone who dropped off and tear him off the strip too. For hours we sat there, till about midday. The sun was smack overhead, blazing down, and the heat was something terrible, I can tell you. Then suddenly,
It was as though a whirlwind blew up. Definitely a twister it was, but localised like. And it raised up a dust storm which swept along the valley, tore all the leaves off of the trees, blotted out the whole sky and completely blinded us. It seemed like some terrible manifestation of the gods, and you had to shut your eyes to endure it at all. And then suddenly, it stopped. And when the air had cleared, we opened our eyes and saw this girl standing there beside the grave and sort of wailing as though she were in pain or maybe anger. Just like a bird that comes back to the nest and finds the egg smashed or the fledglings gone. That's what it sounded like. She was standing there, looking at the naked body and screaming and cursing the monsters who had done such a thing. Us, of course. Then she crouched down and picked up a few handfuls of the dry dust and scattered it on him. She carried an urn, a small bronze ceremonial thing, and she poured it over the dead man 3 times. Honey and wine and stuff it in, I suppose. All the proper ritual for a funeral, anyway. Well, as soon as we saw that, we all came charging down and arrested her on the spot. She wasn't frightened or anything. She stood her ground. So then we formally charged her with the crime. This and the one before. And she admitted she'd done them both. We were all relieved to hear that, I can tell you. But sorry, too, in a way. It's very nice to get out of trouble yourself. Not so nice when you see someone else up to the neck in it. Someone you got no